Hello YouTubers, Max18363 here, and this is part 35 of F.E.A.R, the original F.E.A.R.
Just doing my job. I'm doing what has to be done.
Now, as promised, over the next vid or two, I'm going to try and sort of recap the story a little bit. I haven't really got my notes or anything in front of me today, so this is kind of off the top of my head. But just before that, basically, if you're a little confused about what just happened there, we basically just witnessed Harlan Wade, who was one of the main sort of researchers of the Incursion project, if you will.
He locked you out. The only way in is to divert power to the door.
And he sort of seemingly executes Norton Mapes, although he's still alive at the moment. Though he doesn't particularly look in very good spirits right now. And basically Harlan Wade is feeling a little guilty about the treatment that Alma has received. And so he intends to... We just saw him walking into the vault there, that's basically the entrance, this elusive vault. Of course sealing himself in, so the point man is now trying to restore power to the door so that he can gain access, but Harlan Wade has pushed ahead with the intention of releasing Alma from her, I guess you could say, a state of, well, stasis. And I'm sure you can put two and two together and conclude that if Alma is released, things are going to get a little bit pear-shaped. But just quickly, I was asked, sorry, my voice is croaking away here. I was asked recently, because, certainly showed day guys, didn't we? But I was asked quite frequently in my F.E.A.R videos. I'll start off by saying, yeah, Max18363 here, and this is part such and such of the F.E.A.R saga. And I was asked if I was going to continue the numbering system in future F.E.A.R games. Just to clarify my intentions, I do intend to do a walkthrough of F.E.A.R 3 at some point, but as we all know, it's been delayed at the moment until May, and I'll probably be on holiday in May hopefully, so that'll probably need to wait until about June. So I will be doing F.E.A.R 3. In the meantime, yes, I intend to take a look at the expansion pack for F.E.A.R, the first F.E.A.R that is, Extraction Point, which got slated by a lot of the big reviewers like IGN, GameSpot, PC Zone, and so on. They kind of gave it a bit of a hard time, which I think's harsh, because I personally really enjoyed Extraction Point. It maybe doesn't add an awful lot to the story, but I personally am of the opinion that it's still very much a valid entry. So I will be taking a look at that, and I don't know if I would have time to get it done before June, but at some point I'll probably take a look at F.E.A.R 2 as well. But would I keep the numbering system going in the vids? No, probably not. I mean, maybe I haven't been very clear. I pretty much just mean it, when I say this is part 35, this is part 35 of the original F.E.A.R. So when I do start doing Extraction Point, it'll be all on part 1, part 2, so on and so on. But, you know, I do appreciate questions. I mean, by all means, feel free. I like getting messages to read, so... But I will be taking a look at those games. Might not be straight away. My next project is probably going to be Quake 4, actually. I've had a bit of a request to have a look at that, so I'll be doing Quake 4 next. And then probably Extraction Point, and then, well, I don't know, we kind of need to see where we are for time by the time we get all that done. But also, I mean, I I'm also doing Quake 4 as well because I kind of need a wee, as much as I like F.E.A.R, I kind of need a wee bit of a break. Bit of variety is also good, so that's kind of the itinerary. I'll update my sort of homepage if you like, in the description, but I've kind of got a very small list of games that are sort of on the slate for playthrough, so I'll update that. And as I said before, I do take requests if there's something you want me to take a look at, so by all means, fire away. And one other little note as well, there was a second expansion pack for the original F.E.A.R, Perseus Mandate, I think it was. Now this is another project that ATC had on the go. I'm struggling to recall what the significance of Perseus Mandate was. From a gameplay point of view, well... As for Perseus Mandate, well, I have no plans presently to take a look at that. First off, because I don't actually own Perseus Mandate, and secondly, I think everybody reviewed it, the big guys, and even little YouTubers, I think everybody slated it, and I have actually watched some footage of Perseus Mandate, and it just looks really, really awful. As far as I understand, Perseus Mandate is not... it's not about the original, the point man that features in the original F.E.A.R. It's actually a completely different guy that just happens to have the same ability, who just happens to be a part of another F.E.A.R. strike team that are sent in to retrieve the source, i.e. something to believe with Alma. That's my understanding of that, and that's pretty much the story of Perseus Mandate. And even just watching the firefights and stuff, it just looks really bleak. I don't really have any desire to take a look at it.
Lost control of F.E.A.R. He just suddenly started freaking out. He was only about 10 years old at the time, but I guess he killed a few people. In the investigation, they discovered that there had been a telepathic link between F.E.A.R and Alma, even though she was in a coma. They concluded that she was influencing him. That must have been why they pulled the plug on Origin.
And like I say, I don't actually own Perseus Mandate, and I don't really have any desire to go and get it, so I will be doing Extraction Point, F.E.A.R Extraction Point, to give it the full title. That was an expansion pack for the original F.E.A.R, very valid. I've played it, I enjoyed it, I think it's very much a valid entry point. Even though it wasn't made by Monolith, I think it's good, and yeah, a lot of other people think so as well. And at some point I'll do F.E.A.R 2, and of course I do intend to buy F.E.A.R 3 when it comes out. Not quite as planned, but I will do it. And of course I'll be doing other games as well, so yeah, I'm going to be busy, I guess, But it's alright, thankfully I have a passion for games. And so basically, at the moment, yeah, we're just sort of working our way through the facility and trying to restore power to open the doors to get into the vault. And that's where we'll kind of have our final showdown. So that'll be kind of the video after next.